invite, and then I'm gonna just say all 3 of you, and then you guys can do your intro.
Alright.
It just makes sense to do it that way, so you can say whatever, you know, just be like, oh, what's up, and then say some stuff, like, just make it natural, and then I'm gonna
Zach.
go into what's up.
I'm gonna switch my headphones quick then.
Alright. Ugh, man, Justin over here. Slack attack.
Okay. Somebody say something and see if there's an echo.
Nope.
Echo.
Yep.
God damn it, I was on mute. I said it before you, but I was on mute. God damn it.
Hey, somebody say something real quick.
No.
Real quick. Yeah, I don't know
I
what's
mean,
going on.
there's a minor echo, but is that something that you can, think you could, like, it'll be a little bit drowned out, or, I mean, if we're always talking, we're not gonna hear the echo, to be honest, so if there's
I
no
think it'll be
downtime.
okay. It's either
I just turned my volume
we're always
down.
talking. But yeah, it's not too bad.
Alright,
I
and
just
then-
always have my volume blasted in my headphones, so I just turned it way down.
alright.
Have we got anyone
Yeah, it works.
doing a backup stream as well?
Yeah, yeah, it's solid. Get your
Oh,
backup stream
Yeah,
going.
here, I will. I need a bigger water bottle. Jesus.
Did you start it?
Not yet. Here you go. Now you should be good to go.
Xbox, invite Salt Scorpions. Trey 80, okay.
Cut.
He's saying invite. He
All
goes,
he hears-
yeah.
Xbox. Oh yeah. Guys, this is Xbox after dark.
Alright, yeah.
Ah.
Welcome to the deleted scenes. Alright, so
That's alright. It's good opener stuff. It's good opener stuff.
I was thinking that. Should I just like
Wait,
keep
you-
going or
You guys
Just
include your
drag.
audio.
I don't
in
know,
mine?
like-
whatever?
I don't know.
Trey
It's just like
89
a one-click thing.
and Zono Robin.
Start it again. We'll
Alright.
start it again, and then what I'll do, I'll just cut from the start.
Alright, definitely keep it though, because that was that was,
Yeah. I'll keep it
Put
and
that
add
at
it
the
to
end
the
of the
start.
podcast. Yeah, or add it
I'll,
at the end of it or something.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
dude,
and then,
good start.
but yeah.
Alright, let's try that again. Alright. Xbox. Invite Solid Scorpion Z, Trey, G89, and Zono Robin.
What up?
Yellow.
Hello.
Hey,
I
what's
don't know
up
why.
guys?
Nothing much. Just playing some Doom.
No way,
Trying
you're
to
playing
figure
that
out
too?
where the hell. Yeah, I have no idea where I'm going at the moment.
Yeah,
Just getting wrecked.
dude, so here's the thing, like, I started Doom, and obviously I'm loving it, and I have to admit, I waited until this like, us getting into a party to play it again, and I've been fiending for some demons, dude. I just wanna rip, like,
You just said
100
fiending for some demons.
Yeah.
I think you did.
And, like, not
No.
Exorcist style though, because
No.
I don't want to invite those into my house. Like, I'm a little bit worried about that. So, man, I'm trying to figure out here. So, like, I'm playing Doom or whatever, and I did a bunch of like different upgrades. And weren't you talking about? I know that at one point you mentioned something about upgrades and how you're doing your upgrades. Trent,
Oh yeah, I had nothing invested in armor. It was mainly health and ammo.
really?
Yep.
Wow. You know, it's crazy that you say that because health and ammo. I actually did the same thing. Now, what do you know? What area you're at right now?
I've just got off the monorail.
Oh, yep.
So,
I know exactly where you are. I think I'm maybe one level ahead of that. But yeah, I know exactly where you are. I think until that point. No, wait. What? You just got off the monorail? I'm on the monorail.
Oh wow, man!
Right now.
I'm playing Doom to fill the void in, but like when I need to take a break from The Witcher.
Oh,
You have an
crap.
addiction. I want to talk to you
Oh,
about
yeah.
that. Like, do you need help? Like, do you need us to give you like a Witcher intervention? It's like here's a copy of like, I don't know, Skyrim. You gotta take this stuff, man.
Something other than The Witcher. I
Yeah,
feel
well,
like-
it's not going to be Witcher. You're taking me off one drug and just supplementing with another. So, you give me Skyrim, I'll run around. First thing I'm going to do is transform into a werewolf. God, I love doing that. But
That's
no,
like-
no, no, no.
Oh,
Geralt's
man.
just he's
Geralt
my
was
homeboy at the
awesome.
moment.
That's
We
like
haven't
saying.
he's just so cool, and I'm just being an asshole through this playthrough.
That's like
I'm
saying,
going to the brothel. I've had my way with Kira, I believe it is, and now I'm working Triss. And I'm just
Oh my
being a
God.
complete and utter asshole to Yennefer. She don't like that.
It's
Wow.
like, excuse me, sir, can you save us from this demon? Choose to save, choose to chop
Mm-mm.
everyone's heads off and steal their money. I'm gonna go with the second one.
I was gonna say, man, that's like saying, drugs are bad, so you should probably stop doing that weed. Here's some coke. You want some cocaine?
Oh my God.
I
You
don't know.
shouldn't
I
drink
feel that
alcohol.
Skyrim's
Here's
the
some
weed,
heroin.
and and not Geralt, which is like just premium drugs. So good.
Oh man, that's the opposite for me. Usually, like, I play a game for like 50, 60 hours if it's a good RPG. Anything to do with Bethesda, it's like, hey, I'm gonna play for an hour. Oh look, it's been 2 years. Cool.
Yep.
I actually had that yesterday. I was playing Doom, and my time it was about. I think I started playing it at like 10 or 9, and I got so just engrossed into the game where I couldn't stop. It was about 1 a.m. and I was thinking just one more level. I gotta find this one more collectible and then I'll go to bed. And then it was 2 a.m. and I was like, so an hour ago I said I was going to bed. And
It happens, man.
moral of the story,
Oh.
I pretty much never went to bed. Just played Doom.
Moral
I
of the
thought you
story.
sounded
What
tired.
is sleep? You don't need sleep.
Sounds-
You need
That sounds like my weekend.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I like about. I feel like God created the weekends so we could play video games on them and not have to worry about work. That's what it feels like.
That
at
sucks.
least.
I work weekends.
No,
Ooh.
sad.
Oh god, there's so many demons here.
I used to work on weekends. I hated it so much.
I think I'm gonna invest into. Man, you know what? I'm investing into armor because I just unlocked this rune. Tell me if you have it unlocked. Of course you do,
I know.
Justin.
Yep.
You know what rune?
I know the one you're on about, man.
I'm playing
That's
that.
why I started to invest in armor.
Yeah, it's perfect. I honestly wish I would have invested into armor a little bit earlier if I would have known about that rune. But I've been doing glory kills like crazy. What I do is I go ahead and I upgrade every rune that I can immediately. So that I can like at one point go back and use that rune if I want to. But yeah, I just like to upgrade it immediately.
I should probably start playing Doom.
I agree.
Are you not playing it this
Oh,
second?
yeah.
I mean, how? How are you not?
Like I picked it up. It's like I have such a huge backlog. It's like I gotta finish something first. So I'm like in the middle of Witcher and Uncharted on PS4. I know PS4, but I'm middle of those two. And as soon as I finish Uncharted, I'm going to Doom.
Well, you know what though?
Yeah, I think Doom might be the first game I've beaten since I started playing Destiny.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I think that Doom is.
Well, Halo.
I haven't
But
beaten it
that's
yet.
about it.
I started Witcher and I'm very surprised, but Doom has kind of made me take a step away from Witcher. I mean, I was loving that game, but if there hasn't been a really good first-person shooter that has no real invading story. I mean, obviously there's a story there, but it's not invading in your your face. You can choose to pay attention
Yeah.
to it or not. Basically, it's dude has guns, blow up demons, and rip their heads off at the end.
Well, what I
It's
find
a-
interesting about the Doom story is
That's
that almost seems like you're the like the space marine from the very first game.
Yeah.
Kind of what I was gathering from the story.
Well, I think
I don't
it's
know if it's spoilers or not, but
No,
that
it's not.
it's kind of what it seems like. I guess I don't know.
I picked
You
up
haven't
on
played
that
the
too,
first
actually.
Doom by now.
There
been,
was
uh,
game too.
right. Yeah.
It's been 4 days. You're good.
No. Yeah. No. If you haven't played Doom 1, then you're a little bit behind the curve, and treat yourself and play Doom 1. That's actually another thing that made me buy Doom, is because it comes with Doom 1 and 2, and I
Yeah,
want
if
to
you
be able
pre-order
to
it.
Yeah, I decided
Wait,
to pre-order
what?
it because of that reason. If you pre-ordered
God
it,
damn it.
which
I didn't.
dang,
I know,
man.
neither did I. I'm kicking myself in the butt for it too, because I love the original Doom so much.
Man, you know
Whoa.
what? You know what? I blame the Division again. Because that is the last game I pre-ordered. And from now on, I'm just
Ruined.
like, I'm not pre-ordering anything. The
Oh,
only thing
I
I
find
have
that
pre-ordered
I
is
got I had
the new
so
Witcher
much fun with
content.
Division. Oh, I
I
love
did.
Division.
I
still
did
do.
until I started, like I said, falling through maps. Ladders started killing me. You know,
It's
when,
so
when ladders
weird.
attack, it sounds like a B movie, freaking
Oh,
horror
no.
movie that I'm just, nah. No.
It's weird. That never happened to me. I never got killed by a ladder or fell through the map. It's bizarre.
Well,
Like if you
no wonder
if you
you're
want to talk
still
about getting
playing.
killed, if you want to talk about getting killed by ladders, Trent, you know this. Daisy, that game will kill
Oh,
you
yes.
with ladders.
Yeah.
So many
So,
ladder deaths.
I think the thing that really surprised me about Doom overall is the positive feedback that it's been getting.
Yeah.
I actually expected
Yeah.
it. Because when I watch a trailer and when I watch gameplay, I can usually, I'd say 75% of the time, tell when a game's gonna be good just by looking at it.
Division.
Hey.
It was good. See, it was good. Those are the
It honestly
three key
was.
letters. Yeah, and it's still fun as long as hopefully eventually they change what
Hey.
was wrong
I know.
with it. They
I'm
realized
just giving you
This
guys
is
crap.
this is just Division's first year. First year of like Destiny was a nightmare for me. I still have nightmares. But then Taken
Wow,
King
really?
came out of nowhere and just like I'm not. I think I've talked about the story before on the podcast. When Destiny Year One came out, I played for a good month, and then I got so burned out by that game that I stopped playing video games. Period. Till January when Dying Light came out. Like Dying Light saved
man.
me. I want to get a
Got-
tattoo of like Techland on my butt or something with like Techland saved me.
I mean, it really seems like there's a trend going on here, which is not a trend. A trend here, just in case you missed that.
Hey.
There's a trend
Good one.
going on here about like games that we expected to not be good, surprisingly being good. At Techland, it really when Dead Island came out, I really
Mhm.
wasn't
Dying Light.
impressed. No.
Oh yeah, Dead
Yes,
Island.
sir. Yeah.
Which,
Remember that?
speaking of Dead Island, or what it's called, right? Dead Island or something?
The original
Sure
one. Yeah.
is.
Yeah, they actually are coming out with a complete like remaster for it.
Yeah, I'm kind of upset
What
about
is this,
that
the
because
year of the remasters?
it really is.
Yeah.
It pretty much is. Well,
Oh.
if you think about it, the Xbox 360 and the PS3, that generation was
Yeah.
around for around a decade, and it's because of how the economy was. You know, it was really bad, so they didn't want to try and push more consoles out. They were trying to get people to basically buy everything that they could, but they knew that they couldn't push out a new console, and they didn't push out a new console until the economy really recovered.
Yeah, you're right. I would say that
That's true.
it is probably the economy itself that kind of pigeonholed us into this. I mean, what we see now, which is all the remasters. That's an interesting thing to.
Bye, Zach.
Oh,
Goodbye.
RIP, Zach.
Yeah.
Hey
Is
guys,
this
that
gonna
was
be a
that was the
segment?
series finale of Xbox Party.
really.
Zach died, so we gotta close the show down.
Uh,
Investigations and stuff. Trent killed him, but we don't know yet. What
It
was
was,
Yeah,
be-
yeah.
it was because that Aussie joke I made last time. But
Oh
yeah,
no.
probable cause. So no, what I was gonna say is that's an interesting thing to bring up. Do you think remasters are hurting the industry? Because we see a lot of remasters happening, and not just remasters, but with that, well, let's just start there. Do you think remasters are hurting the industry?
I don't think they're
Yes
necessarily
and no.
hurting. Yeah, I don't think they're necessarily hurting the industry. I mean, I'm sort of overhearing about remasters, but at the same time, everyone's got that, one or two games that are like, for me, one of the games I would love to see remastered is Red Dead Redemption, or
Oh
just
my
another
god.
Red Dead
yes,
Redemption.
please.
No,
Like,
don't talk too much RDR. I'll start crying.
um,
Oh.
but I thought would just like I love that game.
Mm-hmm.
So even backwards compatibility, if that came out, between that and The Witcher, R.I.P. life. Seriously.
Yeah. So
I
you
have to
play.
agree.
No, go
Like
ahead,
the
Robin.
the reason oh thank you. The reason I said it's both good and bad because you have some remasters like I'll give you an example. I love Dishonored, but the Dishonored Definitive Edition was basically a slight upscale, which is barely not worth the remaster. But then you have something like the Metro Redux, which was like both Last Light and 2033 completely redone from the ground up
Mm.
with gameplay and everything enhancements. Yeah, I bought that twice. I don't know why, but I
Wow.
did. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel if you're going to do a remaster, do it right. You know,
Of course.
don't make it a slight graphical upgrade. Make it look pleasing to the eyes, but like Metro did, do
Make
it
it
redo it from
substantial.
the ground up. I'll happily pay the money for. I think if I was thinking today at work, I'm like, I felt like putting a poll up on the Facebook page or the Twitter. What would you guys prefer, backwards compatibility or a remaster? Like, would you wait for a remaster or would you just prefer backwards compatibility to play the game right now? When it comes to something like Red Dead Redemption, that's something I'm like, whoa, what do I want? Do I want to play the game right away? I love it. Or do I want something that I know Rockstar will put the time and effort in to rebuild, remaster it, make it great again, or make it great? It's always been
Yeah.
great.
Just
Yeah.
look
Yeah.
at
I think the
just
only thing that really hurts the industry with the remasters is it kind of stifles creativity a little bit because everybody just wants to see these games redone.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if the game is good, like that's totally cool, and if they add more stuff like Metro did, I mean that's great. But if they're literally just bringing the graphics up to 1080p and they're not doing anything else, then that's not really worth it in my eyes.
Yep.
But and it also if it's going to take away from making new games, don't do it. If
Yeah.
you're going to spend
Well, that
4 years on a remaster instead of making a brand new IP or, another game in the series, I don't think it's really worth it. That's, but I mean, I'll buy a remaster if it's really good.
yep. Yeah, I agree. You hear a lot of people saying things such as Xbox is having issues, Xbox might be closing down. There's a lot of things that people like to
What?
speculate. It's just ridiculous rumors. And one thing that, or maybe Xbox isn't bringing a lot of money in, when you look at the success that they've had in things such as Minecraft. Minecraft was a substantial buy for them, and it was probably one of the best buying decisions that they could have made. There's another thing that I was thinking about though, which was what recently just happened, and that is Black Ops. They decided to go ahead, and we knew about this for a while, but it's kind of great knowing that it's here and not having to wait any longer. But
Yeah.
they went ahead and they released it for backwards compatibility, and that's another question that I have, which is, do you think this is going to be a two-part question? Do you think that Xbox having backwards compatibility is hurting the industry, or even game developers, or um, really anybody in general, just gaming in general, at all? Or do you think it's very helpful? I mean, one way you could look at it is this an excuse for them to not have to come out with more games? Or is this is this just an in between and them trying to please the crowd?
I believe the way Xbox handles backwards compatibility is a very optional thing. It's not like the PlayStation's variant where it's like you have to pay a monthly subscription to get this game for a certain amount of time. It's like at that point it's like, hey, it's Netflix for games for things I've already seen before. But with Xbox, it's like completely optional. It's like, hey, I have this disc of Black Ops One. Too bad I can't play it, but it came out
Yeah.
today, so I can play it now. Sweet, that's awesome. It's optional.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a really good thing about the backwards compatibility stuff and why they really wanted to try and push it is because there's so many people that still haven't made the jump from the 360 to the One. And if they can bring out some of the more popular games for the 360, games that they see a lot of people playing still, if they can bring those forward to the One and make them backwards compatible, there's no reason to not have a Xbox One because you can still play your Xbox 360 games. Like I have a few friends that still don't have ones and they have a 360, but the reason they don't upgrade is because they have such a huge game library for their 360 that they don't want to just lose out on all those games. And to be honest, that was a big reason I didn't upgrade right away either. I actually have only had mine for maybe a year, so
Oh,
I was a little.
Wow,
I
I
mean, I
didn't know
guess I
you only
wasn't.
had Xbox for a year.
yeah,
I
me
was a
too.
day one adopter.
Me too.
Yeah, I wanted to get an Xbox One right away, but I just couldn't swing it being a single dad. I mean, it wasn't in the
Hmm.
cards. So I saved for a
Yeah.
while. I got two jobs for a while just to buy another Xbox.
Now that's commitment.
You hear you hear
Yeah,
that,
that's cool.
Microsoft? That's loyalty to
Yeah,
your
I
company.
got I sacrificed seeing my child for like a month so I could work
Oh,
two
Wow.
jobs, like
Wow.
80 hours a week so I could buy an Xbox
Jesus.
for my birthday.
And really, let's be honest,
Did
it's a
it?
full circle because now he gets to see and play that Xbox. So really, it was kind of like a present to him and yourself.
Well, he
It's like
kind
a
of
it's
inherited
a
my 360. Like all the games that he wants, I just buy those games on the 360 for him. Like I just got him Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare, and he's like, "Oh, I really want to play this on your Xbox." And I'm like, "Oh, let's go buy it for yours instead."
That's funny.
oh my
uh,
god.
I actually a few times have almost bought my fiance an Xbox One just because she likes to play Xbox and she's at college, and I would just love to be able to jump into a game even if it's as simple as zombies. Because that's what she likes to play, and just
Hmm.
jump into a game and play with her. I mean, Xbox isn't just for most people. I know for me, it's not just a place to play games. I feel like playing games is somewhat a second reason why people own Xbox or maybe even a gaming console period. What it is for me is it's a social environment. And I like to get on, I
Yep.
like to talk to you guys, I like to talk about
Yeah.
Xbox, what's going on. It's just
Absolutely.
a very enjoyable place where you can meet your friends, you can talk with them, and really kind of escape reality and have your own private party, really.
Yeah, it just kind of brings that social aspect to gaming, where like on PCs, there's a social aspect to gaming for certain games, and if you're in a part of I guess a gaming community, but
Yeah.
and but console games are something different. I mean, it's something you play with your friends just to relax and kind of hang out. It's more than just games. It's movies. It's TV. I mean, the Xbox One, you got a TV tuner inside of it that you just plug your whatever
Hmm.
TV subscription you've got. I mean, I don't have TV, so I've never used that before, but
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that watch TV through their Xbox with their family. I know a couple guys that have a bunch of kids, and it's the whole family's entertainment system, and you wouldn't see that with game consoles before. It's
And
not like it didn't used to be a whole family thing, and now it kind of is.
that was actually the original vision of Xbox, and I was one of the people that was very mad at the vocal, I'd say minority, but maybe it's majority, of people saying that we can't have DRM in games, and they didn't like always online because I knew it was more quiet, but I knew some of the features they had planned, and one of those was family share. And family sharing
Yep.
seems like a great idea. I would like with one of you guys, if one of you guys like I trust you guys because I've known you for so long, I'd just add you in the circle, even if it was like 3 people.
My
Yeah,
games now.
privilege.
It's mine now, mine.
It's a mine.
You guys, yeah, you guys would be able to be a part of that Doom 1 uh, gang, I guess. I don't know what you call it. You'd just be privileged to be able to play that with me. But
The original Horde Slayers.
now one thing
I agree
that
with that. Like,
yeah, continue.
oh, sorry, continue.
I'll let you go. No, you can go, Robin.
Oh my god. The family sharing thing would have been so cool because the whole emphasis of that was to make games also later down the line cheaper, kind of like how Steam has those crazy sales. So we would have
Yes.
had like a mini Steam sale every once in a while on Xbox. It's like, hey, you want this game for $80? Take it for 20. Have fun.
Yes, that's what they would have done. They so would have done that. And that another thing that confuses me is if they're pushing everybody to be digital, they have to update some of their digital terms and agreements and really just everything in general because if you're going to have digital sales, what are they doing? They're saving money on discs. They're saving money in a lot of ways. We should be getting the games at least a little bit of a cheaper price. And I think one good way that they've talked about doing this is they're planning on doing, or they did a survey to see who would partake in basically selling your digital games back to them. Did you guys hear about that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I
for
heard
the
about
Yeah.
tiny price, what was it like?
10%, I believe.
Yeah, it was a tiny percentage. Like it's not even worth it at that point. I'll just keep the game and maybe play it, maybe not. You know.
Yeah, but the way I look at it is they're doing something they wouldn't have done prior. And when I see it that way, it's either they could have done nothing or they're giving us somewhat of an option. And I really like that. That's one of the big things that I look at is either we have nothing or we have something. And it shows that
Right.
they're doing an effort. And here's the thing, they sent out it was a survey. All right, so what happens with survey? You get feedback. What happens after feedback? 90% of the time, there's something that's implemented from that feedback. So a lot of people said 10% was too low. But if they did 15, I'd be fine with it. Because what are they going to do? They don't need your stupid digital game. I think either A, they should let you do that, or B, you should be able to give it to somebody. So you can essentially trade your game. Like it.
I
Yeah.
think game trading would be amazing. Or
Yeah.
the ability to take your digital games and even rent them out to people. Kind of like
Start a
kind of like
subscription.
well, not even for like money or anything, but just, you know, oh hey, I give this person's account permission to access this game for this amount of time, you know.
That would be cool,
And
actually.
you know, even if it was only for, oh, you can only rent the games out for a week at a time, that's still totally worth it because then you could have one person buy a game and say they really like the game and they, you know, their friends kind of on the fence about it. Their friends like, well, hey, just borrow me that game. All right, so they borrow the game. They're like, oh man, I really like this game. Now I'm gonna go buy it.
Hmm.
Well,
Then
There you
they.
go.
that's what it used to be like back in the days of like Sony PlayStation, PlayStation 2. I
Yep.
think the original Xbox, when you had the disc-based game, oh, hey man, I'm coming
Oh.
over. I'll bring this new game I got. Check it out. Oh,
Absolutely.
dude,
Yeah.
that's awesome. I'm gonna go and buy that tomorrow. You know.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Absolutely.
Something like that would be cool. You know.
It definitely
It would
feels like
be
a little
very
piece
nice.
of something is missing because we don't have that anymore. I mean, that was like what you say, a really big deal. That's how I started to get into Crash Bandicoot. That's how I started to get into a bunch of other, like we were talking about, original games, which happened to be on the PlayStation. So I feel like they do need something to to sort of combat that. I mean, they don't absolutely need it, so really what I'm saying is it's more wishful thinking. If they don't do it, really that's the prerogative. I mean, digital games is digital games, and that has its benefit already. And I already have digital games for the simple reason
Yeah.
I'm too freaking lazy to put in a disc into my Xbox. I can't manage those 5 steps over to my Xbox.
You know what's funny is that's
Wow.
basically the exact reason that I have gone completely. I don't own a single physical copy of a game. I
Yeah,
mean,
it
it doesn't help
does.
that, yeah, me and my brother, we've game share, so we both pay half for all the
Oh,
games that
okay.
we buy, or one person will buy a game and then it'll be the next person's turn to buy a game. But because we do that, a new game will come out and he'll be like, "Oh, hey, do you want to get this game?" And I'll be like, maybe." He'll just say, "All right, well, I'll buy the game, and if you want to play it, you can." So of course I'm gonna play it, but I might not play it all the time, and then I'll just buy the next game. You know, like he bought
Yeah.
Witcher, and I didn't even know what the heck the Witcher was when he bought it at first. I'm like,
What?
"What is that
What?
game?" He's like,
What?
he's like, "Oh,
Blasphemy.
this is a
Wow.
great game," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, whatever. I'll try it sometime." And so I tried it out. Absolutely love The Witcher. Obviously, we talk about it like every single week.
Somebody hurry up.
But
Check Trent's vitals. Trent, are you there?
Oh, Trent died. Trent's dead.
I'm getting that itch. I'm getting the itch.
Is getting,
Oh my God.
getting dizzy or the itch to murder? One or the other.
but
It's either gonna
but
pass it. Yeah, continue.
it's I mean the whole game sharing thing it would be just so awesome. It would be so awesome. I think it would turn like gaming is already really really social, but I think if they made it so that you could share your games with people, rent them out to people, I think it would make gaming even more social. Just think, you could be talking to somebody in the Facebook group and they could be like, "Oh man, I really don't have the money to buy this game because they're a kid or something. They don't have the time. They don't have the money." You just be like, "Hey, I don't play this game anymore. Here, I'll rent it out to you for however long."
Yeah,
Go
yeah. I
go
think,
ahead, have fun.
and if they want to be able to still make money on it and not get completely ripped off, they have to do it right. Because if they
Mhm.
don't do it 100% right, they could probably potentially lose a lot of money in the deal. But I think that there should be a timer, and that timer should only be, maybe 5 hours per person. Which, unless you're game sharing, and I do think that game sharing should be a big part of like a family share is one of the things that I think of. But yeah, I think that they need to have a timer, or else they could lose out on a lot of money, other than the few people that you have in your so family share, if that's what they call it.
Yeah.
Ho- Honestly, whenever this topic comes up for discussion, I always tell people, "It's like, hey, so what you're saying is you don't want our own version of Steam because on Steam you can gift people games, you can share games. I mean, you can even
Yeah, that's
return
so
digital
cool.
games. All you have to do is like, hey, I don't want to play this game anymore. It's less than 5 hours. Like if you've played less than 5 hours, you can return a game on Steam like right away. We were this close to having our own Steam, and it honestly the whole thing boiled down to a PR war from PlayStation where they made that little video where it's like, hey, this is how we share discs. Here you go. Here's a disc, and that just kind of that it was a PR disaster, and that's why Microsoft's like, okay, you guys don't want Steam, cool.
Yeah,
Fine.
I might be one of the few people that was totally like when they came out that E3 and said, "Hey, you have to always be online to play our games. There's gonna be DRM and all this other stuff." I was actually kind of excited for it because it
I
just
thought it was the
that's
future.
how. Yeah, because I mean, if you think about it, that's exactly how PCs are. If you buy a physical PC game, I mean, most of them come with codes now, so you can't even bring them to another person's house. This was the way that they had it set up was you could still bring it to someone's house, but you just had to have that person's gamer tag or whatever on the console to play it, or
Yeah.
they had to be around. It's almost like you're just bringing your physical game over to someone's house. I
Agreed.
Yeah.
I don't. It just there's a lot of people still though that don't have good internet or don't have internet period, so I can understand why everything kind of got out of hand, I guess. But
And it's really surprising to me that there's still people that don't have internet, because I understand, some people can't afford it, but I think that that's becoming less and less as we speak, because I know AT&T, Verizon, everybody is being pigeonholed, into stepping up their game. Comcast, Warner, what is it? There's another one, I forgot what it is, but there's like a Warner somewhere around here, an internet provider, and because of
Warner.
Google. Yeah. Okay. So it's Time Warner, because of Google Fiber. Google Fiber is really changing the game of,
Mm-hmm.
and they
I
have to
agree.
step it up, or they get pretty much just destroyed.
Also, another big thing about that whole people complaining about, oh, we have to be online all the time, DRM, DRM. A lot of those majorities of people, hey, you guys are complaining about being online all the time while being online complaining about things. It's like, I mean, come on. Are you kidding me right now? You're literally complaining about being online all the time and you're online. So that's
Yeah.
the thing that pissed me off.
Yeah.
Like, you just, a lot of times, it's like you're just complaining for the sake of complaining.
Oh yeah,
Come
that's what the
on.
internet's for. People just like to complain on there.
Oh.
But
Yeah,
I
just put
think
another
that
dislike on that Call of Duty trailer, why don't you?
Is it like 2.8 million or something, man?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, so my brother lives out in kind of like a rural area, and he doesn't have internet anywhere near him. Well, the nearest internet is satellite, and let's be honest, satellite internet is garbage. But so what I had to do
satellite
is
internet. How does
because
that? Yeah, that's not
satellite
even
internet.
competitive.
Oh god, that's not even internet. So what I did for him though is because they live so close to a cell phone tower. I actually just had him buy a Sprint cell phone since they have completely unlimited there, and I just rooted it and made it so that he can tether and play. He plays Destiny with me all the time on the internet through his phone.
Oh,
It's like one of the
nice.
best ways to do it.
I didn't know
That's
that.
crazy.
I didn't know that you could actually root it like what you're talking about, and
Yeah.
do that without it going off of your data. I thought that it would always go off of your data. Do you know if that's a thing or?
Oh, what happened?
Oh, no,
I'm,
I'm here.
Oh,
yeah, that's
Anyway, so yeah, that was weird. So do you know, is that a thing? Does it go off of your data or no? Does it just
Oh,
continue?
sorry. Yeah, okay. So it does go off your data.
Okay.
So it uses. I mean, when I was still living at my parents' house, and because I was living there, so I kind of already did it to my phone. I went through about 400 to 500 gigabytes a month of
oh,
data.
Wow. Holy crap.
But
That's
but
a lot of
since there's
data.
no one else out there using that much data, it doesn't even matter. You know.
Wow.
It's
All
not.
that
I wouldn't
Destiny, huh?
recommend it to people in the city or anything because they'll throttle you like immediately. Because
Yep.
cell phone places they throttle you after like 10 gigs now, which is stupid. But if you're in a rural area and you have crappy satellite internet, look into see what kind of cell phone towers are around you, what kind of service you get from those towers, because rooting a cell phone is super easy, and using it as a tether for your console even easier.
So that 400 gigs, you can't tell me that. Maybe not at that time, but I mean, if it was nowadays, that would about 399 would be Destiny, wouldn't it? Let's be honest,
No,
Justin.
that was before Destiny came out. That was
But
when
if
I
it was
was
now,
playing. Oh, if it was now, I mean, I don't even know. I haven't even asked him a lot since the last time he's checked his build to see how much data he's used. But you
wow.
know what honestly takes up even more data than games is oh god, get this demon.
Hey, get
whoa.
that demon.
Netflix. Netflix
You get
and
that demon.
it's
Yeah.
like streaming videos. Like each video
Yeah.
is around a gig or so if you stream it
Oh,
on
yeah.
Netflix, like a movie. Television
Yeah.
shows are like 300 to 400 gigs, depending on the television show.
400 MB,
But
you mean, not gigs.
no, sorry, megabytes. My bad.
Oh
Yeah,
my god.
megabytes.
Oh, I was gonna say you. What
4K.
the hell are you? Yeah.
So are you watching every single episode of Law and Order in 4K? My god.
Yeah, and Bates Motel. I just started watching
10K,
that.
man. I'm watching that shit in 10K.
10K.
So,
Oh man.
Destiny. When we were talking about Destiny, didn't they come out with some kind of announcement today that it seems like, well, didn't